Welcome to my latest Horus Heresy battle report. This time the Primarchs are coming out to play. It's Corax versus Horus. This battle is going to take place out in the canyons, out in the wilds, out in the ruins of an Imperial world. The Warmaster himself has deployed on the surface of the planet doing Horus things, looking for artifacts, looking for MacGuffins that will help him in his fight against the Emperor. But Corax and the Raven Guard have been tailing this particular force of the Sons of Horus. And now that the Warmaster himself has deployed down onto the planet, the Raven Guard are going to launch their strike. We're going to be playing 3,000 points worth of Onslaught and Standard Dawn of War deployment. What does all that mean? It means it's the only game in the Horus Heresy where you do staggered deployment. You go, I go, you go, I go, as you put stuff down. And then at the very end of deployment, after Infiltrator Scouts and after all the shenanigans happen, then once I've deployed, I'll put an objective down in my opponent's deployment zone, and I need to take it. And if I take that objective, I win the game. Vice versa. The Sons of Horus will put an onslaught objective down here, and if they take it, you win the game. 5 points for taking that objective. So you're trying to take your opponent's objective while at the same time trying to stop them take the objective that they've put down in your deployment zone. And if neither of you gets the objective, or both of you gets the onslaught objective, then it'll come down to who killed more and which Primarch is alive at the end of the game. It'll come down to the secondary objectives. But I like this one because you don't put down the objective until after you've deployed everything. So I don't know, I mean, I could deploy heavy on one side, for example, and then Horus puts his objective all the way down over here, which I'm going to need to defend somehow. But the Raven Guard are very sneaky. I've got lots of infiltrators, lots of scouting, lots of deep striking, lots of outflanking shenanigans, whereas Horus is just going to come marching on and try and snowball his way through the Raven Guard. As for the battle grid, well, lots of line of sight blocking terrain all over the place with these tall canyon type pillars and the ruins in the middle, and all of the pre-painted scenery that you see, and the battle map is from urbanmaps.com. And a big thank you to all my channel supporters, subscribers and members and things. And if you'd like to support me and become a channel member, join the 13th Fleet, then that'd be groovy. Thank you. And if you become a tier 3 channel member, you get an extra battle report every single Winter's Wednesday. And we welcome back to the channel Just Craig. Say hi, Just Craig.
Hi, Just Craig.
Sons of Horus.
They're back.
Sons of Horus. How many points of Sons of Horus are you up to painted now?
Just under 6,500 now.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Went a bit mad.
But you're on to your next project.
Yes, Ultramarines are mid-flow. I've got about 2,000 points of those painted out of 5,500 total. And another project lined up for after that. So
you're deep into the Heresy right now.
Loving it.
Why Heresy?
It's a simpler rule set to pick up. The keywords, the interactions take a bit getting used to, but it's in a known state and you can just dip back into it and just play. I like it.
A simpler rule set to pick up?
I think the rules are simpler, the keywords add the complexity.
Okay, yeah. I think it's harder to get your head around to start with, but once you've got it locked in, it's locked in, right? Because there's no extra stratagems and enhancements and da-da-da. And there's so much different flavour in the cool rule sets depending on what legion you pick.
Yeah.
Perfect. So here's 3,000 points bang on of Raven Guard led by Corax, the Primarch of the Raven Guard. And this is a Legion Recon Company. What does that mean? That's the right of war. What it means is when we roll the dice to see who deploys first, goes first, I get a re-roll on that. And also I get a re-roll to seize the initiative if I'm not going first anyway. And it unlocks the Legion Recon companies as troops. So that's what it does. So what we've got here is a bunch of snipers zipping around to support the sudden strike from the speeders, from the terminators, from the bikes in the backfield. The list is designed to try and go first and try and cripple something with the bikes and put some pressure down the battle grid while the rest of the forces move up. Now, Raven Guard, they don't have one thing like other legions do. Like the Sons of Horus, for example, -1 strength in the first round of combat when they charge or are charged. The Raven Guard instead have 3 special rules: Hawks, Talons, and Falcons. And in this list, what it means is all the guys on foot down here, they all have Infiltrate and they all have a 6-up shrouded if you're more than 8 inches away. The other thing I've done is all 4 of the recon squads here have improvisers, along with the Mordathan strike team and along with the bikes. What does that mean? It means that you ignore night fighting. Not sure if we're doing night fighting yet, but it also means that the sergeants hit on 2s and you can't shroud against those shots coming in. So the idea is that the snipers with their precision weapon and the Mordathans with their precision weapon are sniping you out, picking away the Vexillas, picking away the characters. You can't shroud against the attacks that are coming in from them, and hopefully pinning some of the opponent back, some of the Sons of Horus back. It won't be as effective as it could be because you've brought along Horus. And Horus makes your whole army stubborn and gives an increased leadership. So some of the sniper fire is going to be coming in to try and pin some of your little guys down. But, well, I say little guys. Transhuman epic space marines from the future. But with the increased leadership and with the increased stubborn, I'm not sure we're going to see as much. It's going to be interesting. Sometimes my snipers will actually manage to pin some stuff, but sometimes Horus's buff will stop your army getting pinned, stop your army falling back. He's going to actually have an impact on this game.
So the Legion Standard makes leadership 10 for everything within 6 inches.
Yes.
And then the Horus buff leadership is on top of that as well. So
yes.
leadership 11.
Leadership 11 for everyone within 6 inches. Yeah.
Nice.
Because that's a command squad.
Yes.
But what I can do is snipe out the Legion banner, and then Legion banner's gone, and then they don't call us line anymore because you've got a Praetor with a Legion command squad, so they count as line. But yeah, could potentially snipe out the banner. That's definitely a thing. Definitely what this kind of sneaky stuff for the Raven Guard is set up to do. Now, all these things infiltrating here, including them, they can infiltrate. What Corax does is it gives your whole army Scout and Crusader, so it can infiltrate and Scout, which means I also unlock Outflank. This is the only thing that can't infiltrate or outflank, but they can Scout because Corax is in the army. And then the speeders all along the backfield and the bikers, they can also deep strike, Scout, and outflank as well. It's Corax is unlocking lots of deployment shenanigans here. As well as giving my whole army Scout and Crusader, Corax, the Shadowed Lord, is an absolute G as well. Obviously, he can kill normal tactical marines like a boss, but when he goes charging in, he can pick a fighting style. He doesn't necessarily have to go charging in, but his fighting style is he can fight normally, or a 4+ murderous strike, or he can pick, when he goes charging in, extra attacks or extra initiative. And he's got hit and run, he's got a jump pack, he can zip around all over the place, he ignores terrain, and when you shoot him, he's always got a 4-up shrouded. So he's got his 4-up invulnerable save and a 4-up shrouded against shooting attacks. Basically, a 4-up rerollable against shooting attacks means he's very hard to kill with las guns, easier to kill in close combat. And of course, now is a good time to talk about the Raven Guard once per battle reactions, because in Horus Heresy, you've got reactions in the movement phase, shooting phase, assault phase. Corax gives me 2 reactions in the movement phase. And the Raven Guard's once per battle reaction is when you select a unit to shoot at, that unit can move and then gets a 4-up shrouded for the rest of that shooting phase. And if the unit that you chose to shoot at moves and is no longer in line of sight or range, you can't shoot at it anymore. You just lose your shots. So he's going to be jumping around. He could deep strike in. He could do all the things as well, all the deployment shenanigans as well if I want to, but I might deploy him on the battle grid with a unit of 10 Tartarus Terminators over here. 6 of them have got Raven Talons, 2 of them have got Thunder Hammers, 2 of them have got Power Axes. They're just normal Tartarus Terminators, so I've given them a Chaplain with a jump pack with Mastercrafted Raven's Talons to keep them company as well, which will give them Stubborn and Hatred. It makes them so much better because Terminators, weapon skill 4, they do need a hand. They do need either a Praetor in there or they need to be brought as a command squad. They need some kind of juice. And a Chaplain give them Stubborn Leadership 10 is really useful, and reroll all hits in the first round of combat is really useful. And all the red talons that you see, all these Raven's Talons that I'm talking about, are basically Lightning Claws. But Lightning Claws rend on a 6-up. These guys instead rend on a 5-up. So you can only get them with the Raven Guard. They're better lightning claws. And everyone who could take one in this army has got one. So, for example, there's a tactical squad that back there, and the sergeant's got Artificer Armor, Raven's Talons, Volkite Serpenta. In the 9-man squad of Sky Hunters at the back, the sergeant's got Artificer Armor, Raven's Talons, and yes, 9 multi-melters means this is a lot of points. But they should absolutely be able to kill something dead. 1 vehicle, dead. 1 Terminator squad, dead. Before they get jumped on by everything else. Not as good in close combat as I'd like them to be. And it would be really nice if there were some options, particularly maybe in the White Scars, to load up your Sky Hunters with lots of close combat weapons so they could get more punchy. I guess there is that specific White Scars Sky Hunter Elite Choice unit that you can take where they can get very, very punchy, but it'd be nice if they could be loaded up for more punchy as well. Anyway, loads and loads of multi-melters back there. 2 squads of javelins, both with las cannons and multi-melters. That's my main anti-tank, along with this thing in the middle. And I think I mentioned the improvisers, so you can't scout. Yeah, I did. I mentioned that. So yes, basically after deployment, it gets simpler with the Raven Guard. During deployment, I've got options for days where to deploy, how to deploy, do all the things. But the snipers are going to be holding the back. Oh yeah, the Mordathan. I didn't talk about the Mordathan. Mordathan Strike Team. These are an elite choice. Veterans of the Lycian Uprising from... used to hang out with Corax back in the day when he freed Deliverance. These are better snipers than my recon snipers. These are just tactical marines who've just taken shroud bombs and sniper rifles and things like that. Over here, I've got 7 sniper rifles and 3 missile launchers in there. And they're better because they have a relentless. So I can move around with this sniper squad and still fire. They're better because they hit on 2s. They're better because they have 2 wounds each. And 3 of them have missile launchers in. So I can move and fire missile launchers without the penalty. And they hit on 2s and 2 wounds. And they've got an extra fight in close combat. Will come with chainsaws. But they're a nice shooty unit. Once per battle, they have a rule called Fatal Strike, which means those 3 missile launchers will rend on a 4-up. I think I covered everything now. These guys holding down in the backfield somewhere. I've got to somehow get 4 squads of snipey dudes and or a tactical squad deep down into the Sons of Horus lines to take this onslaught objective. Of course, if all of these get wiped out, then I cannot score that onslaught objective, and instead I'll have to go in full defensive mode to stop the Sons of Horus taking my onslaught objective, and it'll come down to who kills the warlord or who's killed more. And Corax, much as I'd love to send him flying in there in close combat against Horus Lupercal himself, well, that's Horus Lupercal. He's the War Master. And Corax, much as he's good at killing everything else, Horus would... I mean, he's weapon skill 7 versus Horus's weapon skill 8. Horus can go up to brutal 2 as well. Horus has got a 3-up invulnerable save as well. He's not a character that you want to send in sniping out warlords. He's a character that you want to send in sniping out everything else instead. Talking about the Sons of Horus, let's go and take a look. 1 minute, one more shout out. All these glorious resin bases that you see are from marchofwar.co.uk. And this is just below 3,000 points worth of the Sons of Horus. We mentioned their thing, which is -1 strength in first round of combat.
Yep.
And their advanced reaction is probably the worst one in the game.
Yeah, being able to shoot back with an additional ballistic skill.
Yeah. Return fire, Overwatch, sorry. It's return fire with +1 to hit. It's not great.
No.
But you have got Horus.
I do have Horus, yes.
And
So
Horus makes your whole army stubborn and +1 leadership.
Yes.
As we mentioned. And he's an absolute G. He's the most expensive Primarch in the book, as he should be. Mm-hmm. But you haven't brought a Rite of War today.
No Rite of War. I couldn't quite make it fit with what I wanted to bring along.
Okay. What have you brought along?
So what I brought along, we've gone into Horus himself, his special rule.
Yes.
So yeah, as you say, he will hopefully chew through a few things this game.
And once per battle as well. Like, I've got 2 reactions in the movement phase, but once per battle he can give you an additional 2 additional reactions in every single phase.
1 additional reaction, so 2 total in each.
Yes, 2 total in each phase for 1 battle round.
Yes.
2 movement, 2 shoot is very good.
Yes.
Okay, what else we got?
So in my HQ starts, we've got a Legion Praetor with a Power Axe.
Yes.
And joining him is a Retinue Command Squad. So each of these is Twin Lightning Claws, and we've got Legion Standard as well, which makes them line.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be dropping onto a table in a Rhino. So
Okay.
command squad's taking a Rhino.
And they've all got better weapon skill, and they've all got artificer armor, and
Yes.
this score's absolutely cool.
Yes.
Love it. What else we got?
We have got a chaplain.
Yes.
He is going to be giving hatred everything to the unit he joins, so my plan is to get him to join the unit Cataphracti with Twin Lightning Claws.
Okay, so they'll be re-rolling all hits with hatred and re-rolling all wounds with lightning claws.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
And finally, we have got a Esoterist. So he has got a psychic weapon which allows him to put out 12 shots with various rules on top of that.
Okay.
So he's going to be joining a tactical support squad which have got flamers, and this is going to be deploying in a Rhino as well.
Okay, so they're in a Rhino, command squad in a Rhino, 2 Rhinos back there.
Yep, 2 Rhinos at the back.
In the meantime, you've got these guys just charging up the field being a nuisance.
Yes,
Brilliant.
that's the plan.
Any more troops? Because they score...
So we've got a unit scoring here, as we've said, with a command squad.
Yes.
So for the rest of the troops choices, we've got a unit of 15 tacticals. Each of these have got chain bayonets to give them +1 strength and shred.
Okay.
The sergeant has got a bolt pistol, and in this squad has got a power sword.
Yes.
The other squad of 15 has got a power fist and bolt pistol on the sergeant. Both of these got artificer armor. So that's, along with the assault squad over here, is the last scoring unit.
Okay.
So the sergeant here has got a power fist and bolt pistol, and otherwise they're chainswords and bolt pistols with jump packs.
Yeah.
So I'll be pushing across the table quickly.
Artificer armor as well?
Artificer armor as well.
Okay, so 4 scoring options.
4 scoring units in the army.
But these ones can deep strike in, and they're line.
Yes.
And I love the fact that just standard assault marines are troops.
Yes, it's brilliant.
It's cool.
So moving on to elites from the troops now. So I've got 2 separate Legion Rapiers.
Yep.
These are LAS, so they're Ordnance 2, they're Strength 9. Strength 9?
Yeah, and the Strength 9, AP1.
Strength 9, AP1.
Twin linked.
Yes.
They're good, they're cheap.
So they're really good at removing all of your tanks.
No tanks,
Yeah.
but they'll be really good at double outing the bikers, for example.
Yep.
Because they're Strength 9 and bikers are Toughness 4, so
Yep.
and these are twin linked.
Yep, twin link 2 shots, so hopefully if everything goes through it'll be 4 bites removed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. So that along with Cataphracti are the elites choices.
Yes.
Moving on to fast attack, I've got 2 separate Sabre squadrons. So these have got the Amulus autocannons on the front and Volkites on the top.
So they're fast, which means they can move full distance and fire both of the guns all the
so
time.
16-inch movement and then 45-inch range on the autocannon.
Okay, and set up for anti-infantry mainly then.
Yes.
I like it.
Yep.
Talking about anti-infantry.
We've got the Sakaran here with the Punisher autocannon, which is an insane number of shots out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of what I had painted, it does have LAS on sponsons.
Okay.
However, it's still a fair amount of damage output between the turret mount and the heavy bolter on the front.
Yeah, because it's 18 shots pinning,
Yes.
rending Gatling gun of doom. So it would probably be better on this particular version of Sakaran to put Volkite on the sponsoons.
Yes.
And that will get the 18 strength 6 shots up to 26 strength 6 shots with the Volkite adding in there. But you got las cannons.
Yep.
Las cannons aren't bad anyway.
No. No powerful machine spirit to split the fire.
Yeah,
but...
exactly. It's all going into inventory all the
Yes.
time and raining in. But anti-tank, you've got anti-tank, you've got Horus, you've got las cannons in the Rapier squad, and you've
finally the Leviathan.
anti-tank.
Yes. So we've got Siege Claw and the Cyclonic Melter on the sides of it and Flamer in the chest.
Yeah.
And this is going to be dropping onto a table in a Dreadnought drop pod.
Brilliant. I say anti-tank, he's anti-everything, right?
Yes, but with your minus range on things, it's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have. Well, yeah, it's. I'm gonna have problems against him. He's definitely gonna be a problem. Mind you, your command squads are gonna be a problem. Mind you, Horus is gonna be a problem. It's a nice mixed list with quite a few different options in here, led of course by Horus, the War Master. Now we'll get this on camera because you roll a dice in Heresy, and whoever wins picks deployment zone and goes first. Mm-hmm. And I've got a re-roll on this.
You do.
So after you, sir. Good luck. 4. And I've got a 5. I think I'll pick that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You can still try and seize the initiative, but at least I have deployment because I have a lot of deployment shenanigans happening. Here we are after deployment and infiltrating and scouting, and down here is a Sabre Assault Tank, Horus, and there's a tactical support squad with the Librarian and the Flamers over here. Mm-hmm. And you go, I go, you go, I go.
Yeah.
And as you were dropping stuff down, I did notice that you put a lot of troops down this side of the battle grid. We've got troops in there. We've got line scoring in there. Command squad with a banner. We've got line scoring here. And you've got an assault squad jumping in as well. But all three of your scoring things are down this side of the battle grid.
Bit obvious.
It was a little bit obvious, yeah. So I put my outflanking marker down there. And I have scouted and infiltrated. And I've got some snipers up here, snipers up here. Infiltrated forward with my bikes right up the middle. Because if I do have first turn, hopefully I'll be able to neutralise the Scar on turn 1 gone. It's out of the way. And then I need to push forward to my onslaught objective while you push forward to your onslaught objective. And all your line units are over here. And you put your marker down here. You take this, you win. Unless I take mine. And my objective marker is down there. Because I'm going to be outflanking on this flank. And I'm going to need some troops to get there. Outflanking with just one lone tactical squad while the sniper fire comes in. Which means... after we did that to each other, both of our Primarchs are out of position. Corax is currently attached to the Terminators with the Chaplain. Horus isn't attached to anyone at all, but he can run. Primarchs can run a long way.
14-inch run.
14-inch run. So he can move a long way. In 2-3 turns, he can get where he needs to be, or start causing havoc in and amongst my lines. There's a rapier team there. There's your chaplain with the squads of cataphractory claws, rerolling all hits, rerolling all wounds, and no doubt they're going to be coming up the table, causing some trouble. So Horus has been out for a gentle stroll amongst the ruins of his work, amongst this desolate, destroyed world, looking for artifacts and things like that. It's going to help him in the Great Crusade. And suddenly... the Raven Guard appear on the Auspex. It's like only a couple of seconds ago, a couple of minutes ago, it suddenly lights up. And Horus is like, no, let's crush them. Let's get down here. Let's push them all the way back. But Corax wants to do the same thing as well. And talking about what you want to do you want to try and steal from me? Stealing's bad. Stealing the initiative.
Is it really?
It is.
Yeah.
So you should just let me go first.
No.
Stealing's bad.
No.
Okay, roll a 6. Don't roll a 6.
Roll
when
a
I say
6.
roll a 6, I mean don't.
Oh.
So it is Raven Guard, turn 1. Right, should mention the Mordathan are outflanking as well with the tactical squad. And then you've got the drop pod and the assault marines. Those are your reserves. Let's go on to the movement phase. Here we are after the movement phase. Both of the javelin units have moved around so they can get shots down in at this Sabre assault tank down there. Both the unit on the left and the unit in the middle. While Corax and his Terminators are run the background this way because this is the onslaught objective we've identified that Horus wants to take, and so I want to try and deny that with my whole unit of Terminators. I'm aware that there is a Leviathan that probably wants to deep strike in here and a whole assault team as well, so we're going to really need to hold this thing down. There's no point in running up the table with the Terminators because I can't score that objective with Terminators. They're not a line unit, only the troops can score it. So instead... they're going to be in objective denial mode. Meanwhile, the bikes zip forward. We're in multi-melter range of that Sakaran. And we're going to start the shooting phase here. And the Sakaran is returning fire. Now, Just Craig is doing his once per battle reaction, super reaction with the Sons of Horus straight away. Because he figures that this Sakaran's dead anyway. So he can return fire. Hitting on 2s. And that's lots of hits. Strength 6 versus toughness 4, so you're winning on 2s. Now, normally this would pin and shell shock, but bikers and grav stuff cannot be pinned. Instead, it's just a lot of wounds, and that was a lot of ones.
That was a lot of ones.
I do have an Artificer guy in there. Let's do one at a time on him. 2 up saves, and he takes a wound, and then I'll put the rest on normal bikes. So far, only my Sergeant takes a wound. And then there is a heavy bolter which hits on 2s, and that's 3 hits, and this wounds on 3s this time. And that is 2 more wounds on a normal dude. Okay, you returned fire, and only my Sergeant took 1 wound. Then the multi-melters are point blank range, fire at the Sakaran with an improviser on the Sergeant. He's going to hit on 2s, and the other guys hit on 3s. And multi-melters are twin linked, and in 40k it's reroll wounds. In Heresy, it's reroll hits. And those are all the hits. 8 out of 9 hits. And the first one pens the vehicle. The second one doesn't pen the vehicle. The third one glances the vehicle. The fourth one pens the vehicle. The fifth one pens the vehicle. The sixth one doesn't do anything. Seventh one doesn't do anything, and the eighth one pens the vehicle. That's 5 pens, 1 glance. It's definitely dead, but does it blow on a 5 or 6? It does blow up, and the range of the explosion is 2 inches, and I don't think that will hit anyone. It does actually hit a couple of bikes. One of them is wounded, 3-up save, and he lives. So Corax ordered a surgical strike in on that Sakaran, the big gun of the Sons of Horus, and has removed it from the battle grid, and now all of a sudden my bikes are right in front. A chaplain, 5 Terminators, and a laser rapier destroyer here. I think they're not long for this world, but you need to do something about them, otherwise they'll do that again.
Yep.
And do that again. Okay, now we're on to the speeders. The only thing that can hit this saber is the 4 las cannons. Mm-hmm. So las cannons coming in hot on 3s, and only one of them hits. It's strength 9, and that sunders. That goes through. There is 6-up cover. No 6-up cover. And this just shakes it. At least it's going to be snap firing next turn. But we're going to put these 2 javelins into it as well, because I really want it dead. So here's the multi-melters. I did move around, so I was in multi-melter range, and one of them misses and doesn't do anything. Okay, there's 4 las cannons on the speeders. Why am I rolling 5 dice? Let's roll 4 dice. And I miss. See what happened there, just Craig?
Yeah.
The dice gods punished me. I picked up 1 too many dice. So they went, no. Okay, so just 1 hull point on the saber. It is snap firing. Let's try and pin some stuff. We're going to start here. This sniper team firing in at those tactical marines over there. Mm-hmm. The sergeant hits on a 2. The rest of the guys hit on 3s. And these are all precision hits. Mm-hmm. And Nemesis bolters will wound on 3s, but 5s rend. So I'm going to put that one on his sergeant and kill him, and that one on the Vexilla. So that one's going to be a 3-up save. Because the sergeant isn't getting cover, but the sergeant gets taken out. So normally leadership 8 with a sergeant, now down to leadership 7, but back up to leadership 8 because Horus is on the battle grid. A sniper fire has taken the sergeant's head off. Because you've taken a wound to sniper fire, you need to take a pinning test. And they're not pinned. So let's do it again. Let's fire the second squad down in at these guys and try and pin them. Trying to shoot away that Vexilla. Everything hits. I think you're getting cover from this angle, though. You are. And not only are you getting cover, I can't see the Vexilla from these sniper fires. So that's just 2 guys that get 2 6-up saves. And 2 more get the heads blown off, and you take pinning test again every time you take a hit from sniper fire. And they're not pinned, but I have killed 3. Interestingly, the last team that can actually fire is this sniper team up here. I think... I can't see a chaplain. Can't see a chaplain. I can see the rapier gun crew, but they can never be pinned. Artillerists. But maybe I can snipe out one of the gunners. On 3s. Keep forgetting the sergeant. And then 2 rending. There is cover. 2 6-up saves. No. And that means both of the gunners get wiped out. So the artillery piece gets picked up as well. And that is the end of my turn 1. I'm not charging anywhere with the bikes because you can only charge at what you shoot at in this game, and what they shot at is no longer there. Now, the Raven Guard have shown their hand. I'm rushing down to protect my home field objective while pushing as much firepower as I can into the Sons of Horus lines and exposing my bikes for a countercharge. Meanwhile, Horus will be out of the fight for a turn or 2 as we go into Sons of Horus turn 1. In the Sons of Horus movement phase, the Legion Esoterrorist with the support squad is racing down from this side of the battle grid down to the other side of the battle grid to start doing some denialing in turn 6. This game lasts for 6 turns, so they can get there and influence the battle before the end. And the Saber came round this way and Horus ran round this way, so he's not charging in to my bikers yet. What will be charging into my bikers is this, unless they fail the charge, of course, is this chaplain with the Cataphracti squad that want to go charging in. Didn't react that way, because that would be closer to Horus. And I didn't react that way away from Horus because right now there's 2 of my multi-melters that can't see this unit for overwatching when you go charging in. And if I reacted moving away from Horus, there'd be even less that can fire overwatch as we go in. The rest of your force around here has pushed because your onslaught objective is down in this corner of the battle grid. We're going to start down here with a Sabre assault tank shooting in at the big swarm of bikers who are going to return fire. What are we starting off?
So we're going to start with the autocannon.
The autocannon. Anvilus autocannon.
Hitting on 3s. 1 hit.
Okay, strength 7.
Twin linked.
Oh yeah. They both
2 hits.
hit.
Strength 7.
2s
Two
to
wounds.
wound. It does sunder on on 6s. It does nasty stuff, but not 6s, no 5s. So one of them rends, the other one is a normal save. You kill a bike.
And the Vulcan on the top, hitting on 3s.
4 hits. Wounding on 2s. Everything wounds. Some more 3-up saves. I'm good. So 1 bike is down, and then we return fire. And one of them can't see. The sergeant hits on 2s. These hit on 3s. They're twin linked. So all of these hit, but I'm not in armor bane range. So strength 8 versus front armor 12. Needs 4s to glance. That's a pen. There is cover, and it is a 6 up on the glance and a 6 up on the pen.
So glance.
Negative.
10.
Negative. So 2 hull points, and it immobilizes it. So the Sabre has 1 hull point remaining. Interestingly, the Anvilus auto cannon on the front is centerline. So basically from the thickness of the tank, it's firing that way for the rest of the game. The Volkite is pintle mounted though. It can fire wherever it wants. But if I get out of the sight line of the front tank, of the front gun, it's not going to be shooting anything else for the rest of the game. Anyway, we're on to the Sabre. And it's firing up at these javelins?
So the rapier into those javelins.
These javelins up here. Okay, 2 shots.
2
Hit
shots.
on 3s.
Twin linked.
And they
2
both
hits.
hit. Strength
Strength
9.
9.
AP 1. No save for me here. It takes a wound off a javelin. They start on 4 each. One is down to 3 wounds. After these javelins took a wound, this squadron of javelins took a wound as well from the snap-firing Sabre. Now we're on to the Tactical Marines, also firing in at the javelins. Not all in line of sight and range, though.
8. So 8
So
shots.
3s to hit with a holy bolt gun. Strength 6, toughness 4, so 6s to wound. No wounds came in on the javelins. There's bolter on the Rhino as well, which will hit on a 3, and this one's twin linked. And it hits, and it will wound the javelin on a 6, and it doesn't wound, and I think that's the end of the shooting phase for now. Because this unit ran and that unit's speeding across the battle grid. So no morale test to take for me.
Nope.
That is the end of the shooting phase. So we're on to a big fat charge. Of course, Horus can't charge this turn because he ran. And your chaplain squad wants to go charging in.
They do indeed.
-2 to terrain. So don't roll a snake eyes and you're in. I am overwatching. That's definitely not a snake eyes. So 7 can overwatch and 1 is the sergeant and the rest of these guys, which hit on 3s. And then they're multi-melters, anti-tank weaponry, pounding into cataphracti, wounding on 2s. Those are 4 wounds, 4 invulnerable saves, or death. Ooh, and only 1 gets cut down as the chaplain leads the cataphracti in. The end of the charge phase, it looks like this. No challenges issued. The chaplain's initiative 5, 5 attacks on the charge, and he hits on 3s. And he re-rolls because of hatred. Chaplains really hate stuff. Everything hits. This will wound those bikers on 2s. And that is 4 wounds at AP 3, which that will kill a bike and another bike unless I tank them on my sergeant. I'm not going to tank them on my sergeant because it'd be nice if he actually gets to fight. So 2 bikes get wiped out at initiative 5. At the same time, the Terminators and the bikers will fight.
Yep.
Here's all the lightning claws from the Terminators, hitting on 4s. Rerolling because of chaplain. Winning on 4s with lightning claws. And rerolling for shred. These that's AP2.
Yep.
These are all AP3. Happens at the same time. So I can now start tanking because he's dead anyway. Mind you, you can't sweep in advance because you're cataphracti. So 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not dead.
No.
And he can't sweep. So I'll put them all on the normal guys.
Mm-hmm.
On it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll leave my sergeant left alive.
Yep.
On 1 wound. Let's start tanking them on the sergeant. Let's start tanking them. He's still alive. He's still alive. How many more of these are going to do? Because that keeps another bike alive, you see. That's 2 bikes alive. That'll do. That'll do. And then dead, 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 dead. You kill 4 bikes. There's 2 left alive. I fight back. They're bolt pistol chainswords when they fight back. And they're hitting that squad on 4s. And -1 strength because you're Sons of Horus.
Yep.
So 5s to wound you, but chainswords have shred. So those are all AP thingybob. And then the sergeant has his attacks on 4s and he misses. So those are all 2-up saves. And a tickle one of your Terminators. So one of those takes a wound. 2 of my bikes are left standing. I lost that combat by loads, so I need to make snake eyes on the leadership, which I fail. And then that unit will automatically fall back, but you can't sweep me because you're heavy. And because we're on bikes, we fall back that far. And that's the end of turn 1. The chaplain and the cataphracti run through those bikers and make them break, and they're all the way back here, and then consolidate up to their initiative, which is 5 with the chaplain in any direction, not slowed by terrain. And all of a sudden, they're already in the middle of the battle grid, looking over their shoulder at Horus. Horus said, "Well done, lads, well done." Something like that. That's definitely what Horus says. And then we're going to go on to Raven Guard turn 2. A couple of things that are going to happen at the start of Raven turn 2. First thing I need to find out is, do my bikers regroup at leadership 8? And they do. And they'll move up to their initiative in any direction, and that'll be it. And then do my outflankers come on? They don't. They're going to be staying off until either turn 3 or turn 4 as we go on to Raven Guard turn 2. So, in my movement phase, Corax has broken free from the Terminator squad he was attached to and means to charge down towards the chaplain and the cataphracti and enact sweet revenge for wiping out that bike squad. It will put Corax down here if I make the charge, and he's got pluses to his charge because he moves such a long way. He moves 14. If he runs, he moves 21. He moves a crazy long way, and he's got +3 to his charge because he's so quick. And putting him down next to the cataphracti and the chaplain does leave him vulnerable to a counter charge from Horus. Maybe Horus won't be able to make the counter charge though, because his reactions, I should be able to fly in there, hurt a bunch of them. Horus comes flying in, and then I should be able to react and hit and run out of there. Very Raven Guardy. Maybe. We shall see. In the meantime, the bikes regrouped, and I need to do something about the big guns that the Sons of Horus have. They've got some big guns, but not a lot. The rest are on that Leviathan that is hurtling down from orbit in a drop pod. So one of the speeder squads is lining up this rapier battery down here, and the injured speeder took a wound as they got clipped by a stray bolt round. Dangerous terrain as they came off the top. And then over here, the other squad is looking at this saber over here. Take out both of these big guns while the Terminator squad continue their run in the first turn, ran in the second turn, trying to get down to stop the enemy from scoring this objective down here. You've got to react.
I do react to cataphracti. I'm going to fall back there.
Straight forward, straight back. They're going closer to Horus, which is not a great thing for me. So instead of moving 4, they're moving 3 because they're in cataphracti plate. That's good. It makes the charge even longer, and maybe Corax will be overextending himself and out of position. But first, we're going to start off with shooting phase. Do something about this saber down here by firing 4 las cannons in at it from the javelin team. You're not reacting. Here's the las cannon shots, and only 2 of them hit. Strength 9 versus front armor 12. 1 glance, 1 pen. You do have cover. I'm going to re-roll that with Sunder. Try and get another pen. 2 pence. 2 6-up saves. Nope. You fail them both. That's all the whole point stripped off of it. But does it go boom on a 6? It doesn't go boom. It's just a smoking wreck. And then the other 2 javelins are firing down in at this rapier battery.
Which is going to shroud.
You're going to shroud. You're going to pop some smoke. And 3 of the last cannons hit. 3 of the las cannons wound. The barricade will give you a 5 up. And then the shroud will give you another 5 up. And that is one of the artillerists gets cut in half. Tell a lie, the rapier carrier's toughness 5. Yep. So instead it just takes a wound, it won't double it out. Okay, we're on to sniper fire. You know the squad that got lit up by snipers?
Yes.
They're going to continue to get lit up by snipers from the squad up here. 1 hits on a 2, the rest hit on 3s, and these will wound those tactical marines on 3s. No save on the rending shot kills your Vexilla, and then these 2 are 3-up saves on anyone. And then you take a pinning test. Back to leadership 8. Have I pinned them yet? No. I haven't pinned them yet. Okay. Let's fire in squad number 2. On a 2 with the improviser. On 3s with the other guys. Only 3 hits this time. And then 2 get rendered to death. No cover. And another pinning test at leadership 8. And this time, no. But this time they have suffered 25% casualties. So there will be a morale test at the end of the shooting phase. Is that the end of the shooting phase? I think we've got some more shots. We've got this sniper team down here. Fire at your rapier.
Yep.
And hit with the improviser, hit with the other shots. 3s wound, 5s rend. So 3 saves and 1 cover save.
Nope.
And then 1 cover save. Can't be binned from sniper fire. Now we're coming across to this last team. Is there any point firing at Horus? Well, he's right in front of us. Like they're not standing on this rock pile. They're lying down, right, with the camo field and shroud bombs in. And Horus is walking right in front of them. It'd be rude not to shoot him in the head.
It really would be.
It would be. 2s and 3s. Everything hits. He's such a big target. This is actually 5s to wound him, or 6s to wound him, but 5s rend anyway. So I'm looking for 5s, and I get 2 5s. He does have a 3-up invulnerable save, though. Oh! And he's got a big head. I take 2 wounds off of him. He can't be pinned. He's a Primarch. Last thing left to fire will be Corax with Wrath and Justice, his 2 master-crafted Archaeotech pistols. It's a lot of words.
That is.
Archaeotech pistols are basically weaponry from before the Dark Age. They're like ancient, perfect. And anyway, they're only 12-inch range, and I did measure I'm out of range of your chaplain. Because Primarchs, whenever they shoot or fight or anything, you can apply. The controlling player puts the wounds on them. They're all precision all the time. But let's fire these in. And they're mastercrafted. And basically, I'm wounding the Cataphracti on 2s, but 3s rend. 1 rends. So 1 4-up save.
Nope.
And you take a wound, and 1 was already wounded, right?
Yep.
And they've got Deflagrate. It continues to burn. And that's another wound, another rend, another 4-up save. Which you make.
My mistake.
So he fires in, snipes one of them out. That is the end of the shooting phase. We've got to do some morale checks. We need to do a morale on this. It gets +1 because it's Legion artillery. So you're up to, I think, 9 or 10. They're okay. And then this squad down here that's been taking sniper fire. And they're finally falling back. And because I shot the Vexilla, you're falling back 2d6 inches. And I pushed them 9 inches straight back. Still a lot of scoring units on this side of the battle grid. The command squad, them, but at least I made 1 of them break. As we go on to the charge phase, over here, Corax is going to try and charge the Chaplain and the Terminators. Would be an 11-inch charge, but Corax thinks it's an 8-inch charge.
Yep.
No re-rolls to this, and you've already made me disordered if I get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Corax makes the charge. Boom, he gets in there. Now, on the charge, there's something I can do is go to initiative 10. Don't need to. My initiative 7, much higher than you. I can get lots more attacks. Well, 3 more attacks. Or I can get Murderous Strike 4 up. So let's do Murderous Strike 4 up. 7 attacks base. Hitting on 3s. I hit 5 times. Mm-hmm. He's strength 6, toughness 4. So wounding on 2s with a shred. Mm-hmm. So it's 2s to wound. And then re-rolling for shred.
Yep.
Now the way it works is, because I go Murder Strike 4 up, these are instant death.
Yep.
Those are not. And you have to do the instant death saves first. So 3, 4 up invulnerable saves on the Terminators. And he takes out 2 of them. And then these are not instant death, but they're also invulnerable saves. No. And all the Terminators get wiped out. The Chaplain piles in and screams for Horus, for the War Master. And he's going to hit on 5s. But he really, really hates Corax. So he gets to re-roll, and he's got 2 hits in already.
Monstercraft as well?
Well, it's the first round of combat. You re-roll everything.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets 3 hits through. Strength 6, toughness 6.
Pause.
He gets 2 wounds through. But I have their AP 3. I have a 2-up save. He doesn't land a blow. Now, interestingly enough, he's still leadership 10 stubborn. So even though I wiped out loads of guys, at leadership 10, you lock me up. And you do lock me up and hold Corax in place, ready for the Horus countercharge. But Corax has got a lovely rule called hit and run. So he needs to pass an initiative test. His initiative is stupid. So basically, if I don't roll a 6, I can fall back and reposition. And I don't roll a 6. Now, have you seen hit and run yet?
No.
It's a bit complicated. So what you normally do is you roll 2d6 inches and add the movement, and they go that far, but it's Primarch.
Yeah.
Corax, he rolls 3d6 inches, and I can discard one of these, and then adds his movement of 14, and I pick a direction that he goes in. So basically, I've got some options here. So with that, I can go 24 inches, or with that, I can go 20 inches in any direction.
Towards Horus, yeah.
I could definitely jump straight towards Horus and end up over there.
Sounds good to me.
You'll get to consolidate 5 inches in any single direction as well at the end of this combat. Towards Horus? And like that, he was gone. Not towards Horus. He leapt round the corner, killed everyone in that squad, left the Chaplain there after he landed a couple of blows and jumped back and over and landed back down there. Technically, he's not attached to anyone at the moment, so you can shoot him. But like I said, in shooting, he gets 4-up Invan, 4-up Shrouding. But that's what Corax does.
And Horus sees him flick in, destroy, flick out.
The flat Shadowed Lord, doing the Shadowed Lord stuff. Yeah, Horus is an absolute monster in combat and would have killed all of them. Corax instead has got some Corax shenanigans. I love it. Anyway, your Chaplain is like, where's he gone? Where's he gone? And it is your turn next. And next, after he consolidates 5 inches, he could attach the War Master. Yeah. And the War Master and your Chaplain could high-five their way down the battle grid. As we go into the Sons of Horus turn 2. Oh, we're going to need to roll for your Deep Strike Assault. Yeah. Does your Leviathan come in on a 3? And the other guys?
Yeah.
Ooh, they're going to come to the battle grid with the Assault Marines. As we go into Sons of Horus turn 2. It's only turn 2. Here we are after the Sons of Horus movement phase. Horus moved round this way, which would have been a 10-inch charge into this Legion Recon squad here. And they saw Horus coming. I mean, we just shot him in the head. He's very angry. So we reacted, we stepped away, so Horus can't make the charge this turn. Just this turn. Of course, the Saber is immobilized over here. And the Chaplain, rather than run across and join up with Horus, ran backwards and got inside this Rhino, which has started all the way over here. And it's making its way down along the Sons of Horus deployment zone, round this way to do something about holding on to that objective in turns 5 and turn 6. So now you've got a Chaplain and he's a terrorist and 5 support guys in there. And then you deep struck in. And there was a big gust of wind. And the deep strike was disordered. Yes, the Leviathan landed in exactly where he needed to be. And it's been fact, when you disembark from a vehicle that's entered the game from reserves, you can't charge. Because, let's face it, that would be pretty broken. Because you could drop 3 Leviathans in or 3 Fire Raptors in or something or other and go boom and then come charging straight out of them as soon as you come from reserve. So the Leviathan's in there. It's got a lot of shots. Next turn it can come charging in. And the gust of wind that caught the assault squad scattered them all the way back there. I put that guy over there. And you can still make the charge into the recon squad if you want to. And because a deep striking unit has landed in range of me, they have to take a pinning test. And my recon squad are not pinned. Meanwhile, down here, trying to get your objective is the command squad with the Praetor. This squad ran forward, the Tactical Marines. The squad that got pinned and was falling back, they regrouped and pushed forward as well. So lots and lots of pressure all of a sudden down this quarter of the battle grid as we go on to the shooting phase. We're going to start the shooting phase with the Leviathan, and it's firing in its cyclonic melter lance into my Terminators here. And I'm not going to react to this because I want to try and keep this unit of bikes alive. They were heroes. The fact that they're still here, or some of the javelins.
The heroes run away.
The heroes run away, but they've regrouped. They're fine. And they're really quick.
Yes.
So they can start pressurising, and it goes on for 6 turns. So I'd like to keep some of my fast units left alive. And besides, my Terminators can take this. We're going to be fine. 4 metal shots hitting on 2s. What's the worst that can happen? You've missed 3 times. That's what can happen. That's the worst that can happen. 2s to wound. It wounds. 5 up, Terminator, invulnerable save on the Tartarus. No. You do kill one, though. That was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's supposed to kill stuff. He's a
Leviathan.
Leviathan.
So the Sakaran shooting, hitting on 2s and whiffed, and then the Leviathan.
He's got Melter in his fist as well, though. They all come with Melter guns. 2s to hit with it. Don't roll another one. No, you don't. That would have made me really sad. And you roll a 1 to wound. So he only takes out 1 Terminator. So pistols from the assault squad. Now, because of shroud bombs, you've only got 5 in range.
Yep.
So 3s to hit. Everything hits. And 4s to wound. 3 of them wound. 3 up saves. And I make the saves. We're okay. Moving around here, the Sky Hunter bikers are getting lit up by the rapier, and I'm going to shroud this.
Yep.
I want to keep these heroes alive.
Hitting on 3s?
Yes. With the twin linked. Both hit. 2s to wound. 1 wound. 1 5-up shroud. I fail it. That will nuke this guy, and the sergeant is left alive on 1 wound. What a hero. I say what a hero. He'll probably run away in the leadership test at the end of the shooting phase. We did a couple of bolter fire as well down this side, rattling into Terminators, no wounds caused. And then, because everything is running and zipping and train and line of sight, the only thing left to fire now is this Sabre. So it's immobilised, so the big gun shooting that way. It's just the Volkite coming up here at the recon team, and 3 of the shots hit. It'll wound on 2s though. 3 of the shots wound. 3 up saves with a 6-up shroud, because that's what Raven Guard does. And only 1 gets through, but you got deflagrate. And it's another wound, another failed save with a shroud. So it burns through 2 of them. And that is the end of the shooting phase. Tell a lie, we've got Horus with the Talon of Horus firing up at the same team as well. He's a Primarch. He hits on 2s.
3 hits.
And it's strength 5.
3s to
wounds on 3s.
3 wounds.
Wounds all the times. It is AP 3, so it would be a 6-up save in terrain.
Yep.
It's normally a 5-up for ruins and things. But they have skirmish, so they have a 5-up against that. And then they have their 6-up shroud. 2 more die. That just leaves the sergeant left there. And now that is the end of the shooting phase. And they've got to take a leadership test at 8. And they hold. Now we're going to the charge phase. The assault squad are charging in to the Legion Recon squad. I managed to kill 1 in Overwatch. You don't take morale from reactions, though. So no pinning test. They can't fail the charge, but how far do they go? They go 8 plus 3, because they're really quick.
Yep.
So they're going 11 inches. And with the pile-in, a lot of them will be able to get into combat. The assault squad make it here. 5 impact hits on the charge with Hammer of Wrath on 4s. 3 of my guys get impacted, and 1 of them gets crushed by the weight. And then we're both at initiative 4, so we fight at the same time. So I'll do my attacks first. I've got less, just to see if I get anything through on 4s. And then 5s to wound, because they're Sons of Horus. And I do up wound. 1 3-up save. Yep. I kill 1. The assault squad's chainswords hit on 4s. Many attacks. And wound on 4s. Chainswords have shred. So you're re-rolling. And the sergeant, you've got sergeant in there as well. With the power fist. With the power fist. So let's see how many die before he gets to strike. He doesn't get to strike. That's the squad wiped out. At the end of the combat, it looks like this. The assault team have landed a perfect strike, wiping out that recon team, but now they're somewhat exposed. There is an elite squad of Terminators stood right in front of them. But I like the play there, Just Craig, because you've wiped out a scoring unit, and then I can trade in and take out your scoring unit.
Yep.
And then behind your scoring unit is a giant Leviathan.
It's a Leviathan, and in the Rhino is a threat as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, the Rhino isn't an assault vehicle.
No.
So if I don't crack it open, you can't get out and charge. No. Land Raiders and Spartans are assault vehicles, so I think I'm going to leave it for now. But I'm going to have to crack it open at some point because the unit inside score. So there's all of a sudden a lot of pressure down in amongst the Raven Guard lines. Before we go on to turn 3, I forgot to do a leadership test on the bike. The hero hangs in there. And then my outflanking units will come in and they're 3.
We've got a chance at Horus heals a wound as well.
Oh yeah, Horus might get a wound back on a 5.
No.
He doesn't get a wound back. He's still on 5 wounds. Outflankers, they're still off as we go into Raven Guard. Turn 3. Where are they? Where are you, boys? I need you in. So in the movement phase, Corax was here and he ran a long way up and over there. Not charging anything this turn, but as you can see, he's in a Corvix-rich environment. No one around me. He's being very sneaky, 4-up rerollable to shooting, and he can go right, left. He can go all over the place next turn. And I think I'm a bit too far away from Horus to go charging. And again, I can react and run away from Horus. Not that he's running away from Horus.
Of course not. Tactically repositioning.
He's being a genius. He's like he's a Primarch level stuff. He's being sneaky and being Corax stuff. What I have done for Horus is I ran this recon squad up here because I don't want you, in your turn, I don't want you charging and down here.
Yep.
So you're going to have to go through them or go around them. The biker and the javelins are going to try and get rid of that rapier for the first time. And over here, not a lot of moving. I'll take the bait. Let's kill that assault squad that dropped in. Let's fire all the shots behind from the javelin into the Leviathan, and then let's see what the Leviathan does when he countercharges in Sons of Horus turn 3. So we'll start here in the shooting phase. There's 2 multi-melters on those javelins going into that dreadnought over there, and they hit on 3s, and they're twin linked, and one of them hits, and it is strength 8 with armor bane. And it wounds. And let's do the las cannons in as well. On 3s. And then 3s. So that is 3 wounds. Of course, you can't react. You can return fire with this, though.
But which I will do.
You're returning fire. So 4 invulnerable saves of 5 up. And he takes 3 wounds. 4 shots back. You fire that gun twice.
Yep.
You've hit twice.
Yep.
That's 100% rate. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wounds on the 2. No save. He takes a wound off at least.
Yep.
Okay, that happened. Your Leviathan's on 4 wounds remaining. One of these speeders is down to 2 wounds. We're coming across to these speeders, putting 4 las cannon rounds down into the rapier batteries. You've already reacted this turn, and this time everything hits. And everything wounds. 4 5-up barricade saves, and the rapier squad get taken out, which means this biker's got nothing to shoot at. Oh no, mind you, you could thread the needle, shoot over there into Leviathan Dreadnought. Let's do that. And he hits, I'm going to need a 4, and he wounds. Another 5-up invulnerable save on your Leviathan Dreadnought. Hero Sergeant just shot you. And the automatic shielding flashes and dissipates the shot. Terminator's shooting in. I'm not going to bother shooting in with the Terminators against that assault squad. It's a lot of dice rolling. And nothing's good. Well, I'm going to kill you in this.
Yeah, they're dying this turn.
Yeah. We've got a sniper over here. Stood still. Already shot Horus in the head. Let's shoot him in the head again. A miss. And we've got this sniper's team down here firing again at this 3rd time lucky. Fired at the squad that have already fallen back a couple of times. On a 2, then on a 3. And then these wound on 3s and 5s rend. 2 cover saves of 6s and 2 3-up saves. And only 1 more takes a wound. You do take a pinning test though at leadership 8. And you're not pinned. Corax's precision sniper team finding it hard to pin stuff because Horus is on the battle grid shouting at the Sons of Horus. That is the end of my shooting phase. The Terminators are going to charge this assault squad. And we only go 3 inches, but that's enough. We end up here. The assault team makes the charge disordered, and my chaplain is at initiative 5, so he fights first. Hitting on 3s. with hatred and wounding on 4s with shred, and they all rend on a 5-up, killing 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The assault squad strike back on 4s and wound on 4s with shreddy shred. Shredded wheat, 2 wounds come through. The Terminators save. Then there are 5 assault marines remaining, taking lightning claws to the face with a reroll, which hit on 4s. And because you're Sons of Horus, -1 strength.
Yep.
So 5s to wound you, with the reroll with shred, and because they're Raven's Talons, all of these are AP too. And the 5 guys get killed 11 times over.
I have got Artificer. Oh no, that doesn't
Rending.
count, does it? Yeah.
It's all rending.
Yeah.
They're better lightning claws. They're awesome. They're very expensive, but they're awesome. So the Terminators make short work of that assault team. Then they consolidate forward straight towards the Leviathan, screaming for deliverance, for Corax, as we go on to Sons of Horus turn 3. Down in this table quarter, after the Sons of Horus movement phase, there's a lot of stuff happening. Leviathan Dreadnought meaning to take on those Terminators, and the command squad, which score, have got out of the Rhino. Hoping that the Leviathan is locked up at the end of this combat, maybe on a wound or 2. Mm-hmm. And then the command squad can charge in next turn. Because as mentioned, it's not an assault vehicle. So lining up to hold this objective down, which is directly below that Rhino now. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff coming in. I reacted back a bit with these guys moving out of the way. Don't want my speeders to be caught. And then down this side, you've heard through the Auspex that the flanking assault is delayed. And so you're trying to zone it out as much as possible. I'm going to need to shoot some of these to clear a space to get in. Because even though it's turn 4 and you must come in turn 4, the flanking assault rules are if you can't come in, then it's next turn, then it's next turn. Then potentially you can keep a flanking assault off until turn 6.
And then I can have an answer when we do finally turn up.
And then that Rhino, which has got a denial unit in, which has raced all the way down from one side of the battle grid, could win you the game by stopping me getting that one while you secure this one, maybe. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, in the middle of the battle grid, Horus accepts the challenge and steps straight down towards this recon squad here. And then Horus points the Talon of Horus at the recon squad and hits on 2s, mastercrafted, and hits all the times, and wounds on 3s. And he can apply it where he wants to. So he can apply it to the sergeant, dropping my leadership down to 7 and killing 3 of them. So there's only 2 remaining. Then we have the Volkite Culverin coming up into the one last sniper up here on 3s. And he hit 3 times, and you wound on 2s. And you wound twice. And he gets taken out. Now we're coming down here. The Leviathan's firing everything at this squad here. I'm going to do my once per battle Raven Guard thing, which allows me to move up to my initiative, which currently is 5, and it gives me a 4-up shrouded. I'm not interested in moving. I just want the 4-up shrouded because there's 2 flamers and 5 melters coming in. Here's the hits with the heavy flamers on 3s. Sorry, wounds with the heavy flamers. Those are auto wounds.
Freeze.
Melter fire. Everything hits. Oh no, 4 hit this time. Not 1, 4. Choose to wound. Where's it going? It went all the way over there. Okay.
3 rings.
So these are 5-up invulnerable saves. And then a 4-up shrouding. 1 dies. And then these are all Terminator saves. Okay, so you only kill 1.
Yep.
Then Bolt of Fire came in, put 1 more wound in on the Terminators. That is the end of the shooting phase. This recon squad is a leadership 7 test to make. And they pass. They're stupid. They're stood right in front of Horus.
I'm scared of you.
Horus goes flying in there. Might as well overwatch him. Hit him once. I don't wound him. And then over here, the Leviathan can't fail the charge. But we're starting over here with Horus, with the Talon of Horus, hitting on 2s in close combat. And he's...
Mastercrafted?
I'm not sure. I think Worldbreaker is.
Worldbreaker is not the Talon.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he does wound on 2s with Shred. With the Shred. And that's 5 of them wiped out. There's only 2 left. He annihilates them. But more importantly, at the end of that combat, his initiative is 6. And he can move up to 6 inches in any direction. So it's turn 3, and Horus is here,
Yep.
nearly at the halfway point. Turn 4, turn 5. He's going to make it there for turn 6. He's going to make it there. Okay, now we have a Leviathan, which has got Hammer of Wrath, 3 impact hits, which wound on 2s, and they all wound. And if I fail a 2-up Terminator plate, you stomp one into death. You don't stomp one into death. Then we fight. Chaplain goes first. He's got a pair of Raven's Talons, and he's going to hit you 5 versus 5. He's going to hit on 4s, and I got some hatred. And Leviathans are huge, but Raven's Talons rend on a 5. And I rend once. 1 5-up invulnerable save. And I don't hurt the Leviathan. Then the Leviathan strikes out on 3s. He hits 4 times. Strength really high, wounds on 2s. Wounds 3 times, but each of these is brutal 3. So each of these does 3 wounds. And they're double my toughness. So if I fail 1 5-up invulnerable save, a Terminator dies. So 1 dies for the first wound, 1 dies at the second wound, 1 dies with the third wound. He kills 3 and 1 in shooting. He managed to wipe out 4 of them. So it looks like this. Then we pile in. And I've got 3 Raven's Talons left and 2 big hammers. And here's the Raven's Talons, and you're a Leviathan Dreadnought. So I'm hitting on 5s, and that's only 1 hit. And this is why there's a chaplain there. Re-rolling. That helps. It goes from 1 hit to 5 hits. Then I wound. Well, it wouldn't normally be able to wound because strength 4, toughness 8.
However,
but it rends on a 5 with the re-roll. 3 wounds. 3 5-up automatic shielding saving, and it only takes a wound. It's down to 3 wounds remaining, and I have to do this with hammers. One of the sergeant's got a hammer, obviously, and a dude. At least hammers are brutal too. I've got a hit though on 5s. I hit twice. Strength 8, toughness 8. Now that re-roll wound rolls of 1 for being a hawk is only when I charge you. So I need 4s. And I don't wound. And at the end of that combat, my team of Terminators definitely lost. But they're Leadership 10 stubborn with the chaplain in there. And they hold. And we're locked up with a Leviathan Dreadnought, which means I can't shoot at the Leviathan Dreadnought with all of my big guns. And it also means you did it perfectly. This command squad, their next turn can move around and charge in and try and deal with them out. And I love what you did with the banner. It's hidden behind the rock. So I can't snipe them out because the banner is what makes them score. And that is the end of turn 3. It's getting tense. It's getting sneaky down here. I need to find out if my reserves come on. Well, it's turn 4, so they will automatically come on. Now, the way it works is don't roll a 1 for the thing. If I roll a 1, this becomes disordered. It's disordered. And you get to move that anywhere up to 18 inches, I think. But I don't think you need to move it very far because I can't actually get out right now. So you can just leave that there.
I'm going to leave it there.
So they're firing bolt guns, and this is firing in, and there's artillery in the distance. So you've seen my outflanking unit, which was going to come in sneaking in this way, and you're keeping them off the battle grid for now. As we go into Raven Guard turn 4, I'm going to need to shoot some of these guys. Anti-tank into inventory. So be it. Okay, here we are after the movement phase and all the actions taking place down in this half of the battle grid, and I need to do something to free up my flanking units. So, lining up speeders to shoot at them, lining up speeders to shoot at them. Anti-tank fire going into infantry. It does leave these speeders open for the countercharge from this squad coming around here, which is a problem, but I need to get, otherwise there's so many points worth of stuff, 2 units not getting on. And in order to protect this flanking assault, Corax has jumped up and over to charge the Rhino, and that down there, that's the biker.
It is.
The hero sergeant who's gone over, and that's a multi-melter shot into that Rhino.
Yep.
Maybe I can crack it. 1 shot with a multi-melter. Never happens. Maybe it'll happen this turn. If it doesn't happen, at least Corax can scrabble on the back of that Rhino. Round here, though, because I'm lining up speeders to shoot at infantry down there, and this squad can only see 3 of them, it does mean that I've given Corax a free go into them, but... sorry, Horus a free go into them, but that's something I have to do. Something I have to do. So breaking away there, trying to defend down here. Let's move round here to Hero Sergeant, firing in at Rhino. Do you want to shroud this, or are you keeping hold of your shrouding for something else?
Keeping hold.
Twin linked. Oh no, he's got an improviser, so that hits. I paid improvisers for the bike squads. Multi-melter. Pens. No cover. 5 or 6 dead Rhino. Not a dead Rhino. Instead, it's just a weapon destroyed, and the bolter on top gets ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
So Corax has got strength 6 pistols, which both hit, and can hurt it on 5s. But 3 up rend, so 5 plus 3 is 8, and a rend is another D3. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's another hull point. It's down to 1 hull point left with its gun ripped off. That's all the shots that are going to come into it. Now firing past Corax is these 2 javelins down here. Can only see these 3 models. Firing in with las cannons, and they all get hit. And 2 of them die. Then las cannons from the other javelins into the same squad. Hit 3 times. And there is 3 cover saves in this case, because there's lots of stuff in the way. 3 6-up saves. And 3 more die. He kept me off for a turn. To be fair, that was a good move, because they couldn't get all the way down there by the end of the game now, because they've been pinned and falling back and things like that. Keeping me off for a turn has kept all the shooting that I have off for a turn. I think that's the end of my shooting phase. Oh no, I've got a team of snipers. Can't forget the snipers. So I might as well try and rend open the side of that Rhino with sniper weaponry.
Yeah.
Because then Corax can charge the soft meat on the inside. So let's give it a go. On a 2 on the sergeant, 3s on the other guys. They are strength 5. And those rend, so that 5 plus 5 is 10. Mm-hmm. And then you get D3 on top because it's rending. So they're 2 penetrating hits. But there is cover. 2 6-up saves though. No. And that last hull point gets taken off. The unit side take a pinning test as they disembark. Leadership 10 though, there's a chaplain in there. And they get out and they're not pinned. So that's the end of the shooting phase. No damage down here in my table quarter. But this unit that are guarding the flanks need to take a leadership test. A leadership 8. And they fall back again.
2d6.
And they're going back 9 inches. If one of them gets off the table, they're all off. So finally, it took me 4 turns to shoot a unit off the table, but they're gone. And now we come over here to the only charge of the turn, which is Corax into this squad.
Can't fail.
So they can overwatch if
they will be overwatching.
So Overwatch. The Legion Esoterist, the Psyker, wants to chuck void darts at Corax. He needs to pass a leadership test, which he does. 12 shots. That's a lot of shots.
That is from Psyker.
I like it.
It's on 2s.
Yes. Pretty good shooting.
When you're on 5s.
Strength 5. Why haven't I got one of these? 5s to wound. He does.
Only 2.
2 into him. We'll add that to the pool.
Yeah.
Because you've also got 5d3 Wall of Death hits from Flamers. Flamers usually use a template, but on charge, it's Wall of Death. So these are a number of auto hits.
3, 6,
11.
9, 10, 11.
Wounding on 6s though. He is a Primarch. That's
So
another 2 wounds. And then you've got the chaplain who joined in there.
The pistol?
With his plasma. He's just got a bolt pistol. My guy's got a plasma on.
Let me check.
Yeah, it's got a bolt pistol. I like that you put Legion symbols on him as well. It's cool. Because chaplains in 30k are not like raging religious nutters like they are in 40k. Chaplains are just like the keepers of the lore, of the culture, of the traditions of the chaplain, of the chapter. They're not all nutters. Anyway, bolt pistol to the face, 2s, and then a 6. Okay, in the end, 4 wounds came through. I have a 2-up save.
Wow.
And a 4-up shrouding because it's Corax. And he takes 2 wounds. Horus has lost 2 wounds. Corax has lost 2 wounds. He goes flying in. He goes basically 13 inches is his charge. Crump, he goes in there. He does a Hammer Wrath, which I forgot last time, and wounds one of your guys for a 3-up save. And you're fine. And this time, I'm going to do my extra attacks. Rage 3.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 attacks on 3s. He's a Primarch. I'm wounding on 2s with Shred. And they're all AP2.
Yeah.
So you can start tanking them on invulnerable saves if you want to, because he's got a 5 up and he's got a 5 up. And you can put one on him, and then start killing the rest of the squad.
Yeah. Okay, we'll start on the chaplain.
Okay, so roll a 5.
Nope.
He takes a wound, and then roll a 5 on the Esoterist, because the refractor field.
Yep.
He's still okay. You can keep
Never
rolling a
Esoterist.
5 on him.
No.
So both of your characters have taken a wound.
4 remaining.
You can keep tanking that, or take away 4 guys.
I'll take away 4 flamers.
Okay, taking away 4 flamers. The other thing that I forgot last time when Corax went flying in there is his weapon is also blinding. So you've got to pass an initiative test. You're initiative 5 actually. So don't roll a 6. No, because if you rolled a 6, then you'd be hitting back on 6s.
Yep.
Now you get to pile in and fight back. You might actually injure him. Okay, first, the Esoterist has a Force Stave. And it's got reach 1. Gets him up to initiative 6.
So I'm going to do the Force Leadership Tech to
Okay.
double the strength.
Double the strength. He
Just
passes.
8, so it's a pass. So this is now going to be strength 10.
Brilliant. And he's
so
got 4 attacks in total with his loadout. And he's hitting on 5s though. I am a Primarch. Drop dice don't count.
No.
And he misses. He's too busy casting spells.
Yeah.
And the shots miss. Now you've got 4 attacks with the Chaplain. He's going to be hitting on... Oh! You get to re-roll hits. There's a Chaplain
Hatred
in
everything.
there. Hatred everything. Re-roll all of those misses. Okay,
2.
the stave hits twice. Nice. Strength 10. Wounds on 2s.
2
wounds
wounds.
twice. I think it's AP3.
AP3.
So I still get my 2-up save, which I make. And now the Chaplain, with his 4 attacks, with his maul,
5's rerolling.
hits twice already. Re-roll the hit.
Yeah, reroll the most.
Okay,
So it's
that's
3
3 in
total.
total. Yeah. Force to wound. Another wound. And he makes him bleed. A mortal lands a blow on a Primarch. What a boss. And then, assume it's the Sergeant who gets
Yes.
alive.
So
Okay.
2 attacks.
2 attacks. He hits on 5s with hatred because of the Chaplain screaming in his
So 1
ear.
hit.
Can he wound? Hero Sergeant?
No.
No, he can't. And that is the end of the combat. You did 1 wound on me in close combat. I did more on you.
Yes.
So leadership 10 stubborn.
Fine.
You hold, which is good. Otherwise you'd have ran off the
Yes.
table. And do I hit and run? It's your turn next. So I can hit and run now. And I'm on 3 wounds. Or I could stay in combat and kill them. I think I'll stay in combat this turn. I'm going to stay in combat. I'm fine with this. Because at the end of my turn, I also get It Will Not Die. Primarchs are very hard to kill. And I don't get a 5. He might die. As we go into Sons of Horus, turn 4. 1 minute. I completely forgot. There's an ongoing combat down here with the Leviathan Dreadnought and my Terminators. Now, before your Leviathan Dreadnought gets to kill every single one in here, I've got a Chaplain with 5 attacks. Your Leviathan's on 3 wounds remaining. Who's going to strike you first?
With no longer -1 strength.
No longer -1 strength, but I've also got no longer hatred. No longer re-rolling hits. All my Terminator's going to be hitting you on 5s now. Fortunately, the Chaplain will be hitting you on 4s, and his weapon is mastercrafted, and he misses every single attack. So let's move on to the Leviathan's attacks. 4 attacks now. He's hitting on 3s. He hits 3 times. He's winning on 2s.
2 free.
2 brutal attacks. So the first brutal attack kills one. The second brutal attack kills another. That happens at the same initiative. So these guys get to fight. I'm hitting on 5s. Oh, that's good. That's good. Look at that. That was 5 hits. 5 hits come through. 5s to wound with shredded wheat. I rend you 3 times. He's got 3 wounds remaining. 3 5-up saves.
No.
And I take every single wound off of him before the hammers get to strike. The Leviathan's gone. How far does it blow up? 1 inch. So there's 3 guys that it's going to hit.
Yep.
It's going to wound them on 2s. And it wounds 2 of them. Terminator plate save. And I'm okay. And at the end of that combat, the Chaplain steps back, breathing a sigh of relief. The Leviathan, however, did its job, because next turn that Rhino can move and there's a command squad that can go charging in there and try and take them out, or instead perhaps try and take out the javelins. And there are 2 scoring units right next to Horus's objective. Meanwhile, I've got none of my scoring units up at that end of the battle grid. Remember, you get a point for killing more, a point for killing the Primarchs. It doesn't look like the Primarchs are going away anytime soon, but this is a bloodbath, and both of them have been running out of assets. Both of us have been running out of assets, so I have no idea how this game is going to end as we go into Sons of Horus turn 4. With the immobilized Saber down here, with no further targets that it can see, and the chaplain, these are terrorist, and the support squad down here. That's all that remains of the Sons of Horus army, apart from everything else pressuring down towards the home objective that they want to score. Horus walked because Horus wants to get some shots up into the snipers, because you want to clear away a few snipers, because scoring units down here with sergeants and vexillas and banners, oh my, and you don't want them sniped out. This squad now, it's minus 8 inches to range because of shroud bombs on the recon squad. So I think we worked out that there's about 3 in the tactical squad.
They can't as well shooting in.
Yes. And then meanwhile, the command squad looks like it's running down towards the javelin. So it's all to play for to try and steal this objective. And you've got a couple of units that could do it. And then in turn 5, my reserves come on. No.
And in turn 6, you may hold that one. So
and then I hold that one.
Yeah. I need to hold that one.
You need to take this one to win the game, because it looks like there's nothing defending that one anymore. No. Well, even if you take that one out, it would be 5 each, and then we're going to have to count off some points to see who's killed more, because this has turned it into a slaughterfest. We'll start off the shooting phase down here. Tactical Marines or Horus firing up at the recon squad? Who wants to go first?
Take that sergeant.
I think I'm going to shroud this then. I'd rather keep my sergeant alive.
3 shots, hitting on 2s.
Yes.
3 hits.
3's to wound. It doesn't wound, but at least I've popped my shrouded.
Yeah.
So I can't shroud these bolt gun fire.
No, so
from the Legion Tactical. Yeah, 3's to hit. That's pretty good shooting. And then 4's to wound. Not good shooting. 1 wound. I failed to save. 6 up. I get a free shrouding anyway. So one of the guys dies, and then there is a twin bolt gun from the Rhino, and then that'll be it. And that hits.
Wounds.
And that doesn't wound. And that's the end of the shooting phase. So who is the command squad going to charge?
I will charge the javelins.
The javelins are going to overwatch.
Yes.
Here's the multi-melters. Both of them hit. Here are the las cannons. Only one of those hits. This kills on 2s. I killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
Crump, they make the charge. There's 15 attacks with lightning claws, which is hit on 3s. No re-rolls here though, no chaplain to speak of, but hitting on 3s calls command squad. These need 6s to wound, but I won't get a save, and you get to re-roll everything, and there's 5 6s already. And then the Praetor will get to swing.
Re-rolls? No more.
So there's 5 6s. There's only 6 wounds in that squad, so there's a javelin left on 1 wound. And then you get your 6 attacks with the Praetor Power Axe. Yeah, 6 attacks on the charge with the Power Axe. 3's to hit. And he hits 3 times. It's going to be 5's to kill. He doesn't kill. There's 1 guy left on 1 wound who strikes back and misses. Okay, you took 4 wounds off of me. Leadership is now 4. And I didn't want to fail. It would be good if I was locked up, but I fail and they fall back off the table. They're gone. 1 minute, sweep and advance, isn't it?
Yep.
Because you could catch me. Now, you've got +1 to this dice roll because of Praetor.
Yep.
But I've got Crusader, so I roll 2 dice.
So I roll a 5.
Yeah, you sweep it. They're gone.
Yep.
They're gone. So the Sons of Horus are locking down this objective. Meanwhile, there's an ongoing combat between my Primarch, the Chaplain, the Zeterist, down in the Sons of Horus deployment zone. And I hit on 3s, and I wound on 2s with the reroll. So that will kill the little guy. These are 5 up and vulnerable saves on your last 2 HQs.
No,
And
they're removed.
Yeah, Chorus does all the Wolverine on them and schnicks them. Finally, the outflanking squads come on from reserve. The tactical marines have been joined by Corax, their Primarch, and we've captured the enemy objective. The Mordathan team, however, because they can move and shoot, they got relentless, are going to try and pick on this tactical squad of Sons of Horus down here, while the snipers pick on them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can make them break or pin them or falling back and kill your other squad, there's a lot of dominoes that need to fall here, I'll win the game. Meanwhile, Horus is going to make his way down here in turns 5 or 6 as well, and maybe... See, these are the scoring. Get rid of the scoring before Horus comes down here and kills everyone.
Yeah.
So let's start the shooting phase first, however, with speeders and stuff going into Horus, and you're doing your thing.
Yeah, so I might pull my HQ squad back.
HQ, you're gonna. Oh yeah, you're moving. You need to do some movement, and there's a Horus thing. You can do 2 reactions.
Yes, yeah. I'm hopping once per game, 2 reactions in each phase.
Brilliant.
Around.
I like it. So the command squad reacts, steps away from my chaplain. Maybe that'll keep them safe from the charge. Now we'll start the shooting phase into Horus.
Who's going to shroud?
You're going to shroud. Here's some las cannons. Everything hits. Wounds him on 2s. 3 of them wound. And multi-melters hit and wound as well. That's 5 wounds into Horus, who does have a 3-up invulnerable save though. The Serpent Scaze. So
3-up in them?
Yep. And another one. There was another one.
Oh, yep.
And then shrouding on 5s. Horus takes 2 wounds. He's down to 3 wounds remaining. Sniper fire from up here is going to fire down into your tactical squad. You can't shroud against this because there's still an improviser in there, which hits on a 2, which misses. And the only one hit.
Mm-hmm.
And it wounds. That will go against your sergeant, who has a 2-up save because he's an artificer and he makes the save. I don't pin them. Got 1 more unit that can shoot in and try and trouble this squad. And that's the Mordathan sniper team. And once per battle, they've got fatal strike. So I can make those missile launchers rend, and I'm going to do it now. And the missile launchers will come in, and we hit on 2s because we're Mordathan. And we're going to wound on 2s. But 4s are going to be cover saves. 6-up saves. No shrouding because of improvisers. So 2 are dead. Then there's sniper weaponry, which wounds on 3s and 5s rend. And I can't see the sergeant, you're okay. So let's put them on the Vexilla. So 3 ups on the Vexilla. And then 6 ups on the Vexilla. The Vexilla gets taken out. You do take a pinning test. You still got the sergeant in there though. Leadership 9 with Horus.
Banner plus Horus.
Oh yeah, 10 because of Horus and 11. Banner. Well, the squad is 8 because of the sergeant, 9 because of Horus, 10 because of the banner.
I thought the banner made from 10.
Did it? Oh yeah, the banner makes from 10. Yeah, it gives it everyone.
So 11.
So you lead with 11. You're not going to be pinned. You're definitely not. No, you're not pinned. You're okay. 1 minute. We need to do the... We'll not die for Horus. We've got to do it last turn. He will die. He's down to 3 wounds remaining. That's the end of my shooting phase. We're going to charge now. We're going to charge with this squad. I mean, where's the tactical? The tactical starts there. So I have to declare a charge against the Rhino and that squad because I can't get within an inch of that squad. Because we're going to charge your command squad. See how far we go.
So we will disorder this.
We disorder me. And that's a 7. At the end of the charge phase, it looks like this. Because I had to stay an inch away from this squad. This hammer has to hit the Rhino. The rest are hitting your squad. And your Praetor's initiative 1. That axe is unwieldy. So my chaplain goes first. And you made me disordered, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to go with my chaplain first. He's going to hit your command squad on 4s because it is a command squad with hatred. And he's going to wound the command squad on 5s because of Sons of Horus with shred.
1.
And that is 1 at AP2. Rending. Tanking it on the Praetor on a 4. No, Praetor takes a wound. He'll be down to 3 wounds remaining. Then my second Raven's Claw, the only one going into that squad, hits on 5s on this squad because command squad. I miss. Oh dear. That's initiative 4. You get to fight back now. Here's the Twin Lightning Claws coming back on 3s. That wasn't great. That wasn't great at all. 4s to wound. And that's a lot of rending with shred. That is a lot of rending. Okay, so these are 2-up saves. And then these are 5-up terminate. So I've only done 1 wound to you so far, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've done 3 to me. Then the Praetor hits with his axe on 3s. He hits every single time, and he'll wound on 3s. And these are all AP2. Okay, so one of my guys is injured. Those 2 hammers get to strike first as well.
Mm-hmm.
And one of that. Okay, so the sergeant's left alive on 1 wound. And the 2 hammers were hitting the rhino. And he hit vehicles on 2s, a strength 8. That's 1 penetrating hit, 1 glancing hit. The rhino's still alive on 1 wound left unless I blow it up on a 6. I don't blow it off on a 6. And I lost that combat. I'm bleach at 10 stubborn. And I hold. And that is the end of that fight. That is not how I expected that to go. I expect that command squad to be gone, or the rhino to be gone, or one of the, not both.
Mm-hmm.
They're still locked up. They're still holding down these 2 units here. You're still holding on to that objective, and Horus is getting closer and closer and closer. As we go to Sons of Horus, turn 5. At the end of the Sons of Horus movement phase, Horus Lupercal himself, which was running down to take this objective, at least guarantee it, has decided not to go that way anymore.
His head over the box is not needed and take out other targets.
Why is he going after the javelins?
It's another unit removed, another tally for the end.
Oh yeah, got to kill as much as. Do you think he doesn't need to be down here anymore? Supporting
When
this
I've
out?
got 15 tacticals about to charge into 1 Tartarus and the command squad there as well, I don't think so.
So your tactical marines are going to charge some Terminators.
Charging in with chain bayonet, so strength 5 and shred.
That'd be absolutely glorious. I'd love to see it. Let's see what happens. So there's no shooting going on down here because everyone's locked up.
Yep.
Horus is on 3 wounds remaining. Do you want to shoot into my javelin so I can return fire? No, are you sure?
I'm positive on it.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So no shooting.
No shooting.
So we're just going to charge.
Yes.
So I can overwatch you at least.
Yes.
Okay, so let's overwatch you at least. Imagine if you had return fire and overwatch. Yeah. Horus might not be here. Can I kill the War Master with some javelins? He's running into the teeth of hell there. Anti-tank fire rains down towards him. Las cannons hit him twice and wound him twice. And the multi-melters hit him twice and wound him 3 wounds. He's got 3 wounds remaining. 3 up and vulnerable saves. Don't fail it. You only fell 1. He's down to 2 wounds remaining. And then he charges 2d6 inches with +1 because he's so quick.
For an N.
And of course, he makes the charge. And then down the other side, the tactical squad can't really fail that charge, but let's see if you manage to get all of them in.
I'm interested.
You probably, yeah, pretty much. Crump, they get in there, but first we come across to Horus, who's got the highest initiative.
Yep.
Unless you smack him with Worldbreaker.
Worldbreaker was made for one thing, and let's use him. Let's use Worldbreaker.
It's such a big mate. It's a big target. Okay.
It's a right target.
So that means he's unwieldy.
Yeah, so it's going last.
So I'll fight you first with my chainswords. I hit him twice. Look at that. I need 6s to hit that Primarch, and I got 2 6s. It's like we stumbled into each other. 6s to wound with shred. I wound him.
2 up.
Can I make him bleed? Yes! Horus is down to 1 wound remaining. Then Horus raises Worldbreaker. He hits on 2s. And it's mastercrafted. You can reroll 1 of them.
Oh, look.
Brilliant. It's strength 10. Brutal 2. Okay, so he just did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 wounds to that unit.
Yep.
He would, they're wiped out. So Horus took a little bit of a detour there, ran straight through that javelin squad. Will recover his wound on a 5. He does recover his wound, so he goes up to 2 wounds remaining. Then we come down to this murder bucket down in the corner, where my chaplain gets to fight your squad first. Mm-hmm. And because you charge me again, I get hatred again on 4s, re-rolling, and then 4s to wound, re-rolling, and at least those are 2 2-up saves because you've got Artificer, but that one will get through.
Made both.
And is anyone wounded in that squad?
Nobody is wounded.
No one's wounded in that squad. My Hammer's initiative 1, so he'll go last.
So this squad and that squad, and then my Hammer last. Last.
Yes. So shall we do the attacks from all the lightning claws? into, well, attack. Technically, they're hitting both of these guys because they are attached. You're hitting that squad on 4s now. The weapon skill is equivalent. And then winning on 4s, re-rolling. And there's another shred. Okay. Let's put him on my chaplain. 2s and then a 5. My chaplain takes a wound.
Mm-hmm.
Now the tactical squad stabbing with their chain bayonets. They're going to be hitting on 5s. Chain bayonets wound on 3s. And they have shred. So they do get the re-roll. And I will get full Terminator save to this. But you're just pouring it on, right?
Yep.
Pour on as much as possible. That's quite a lot. So these are all 2-up saves.
Yep. You can get one through.
Chaplain's on 1 wound. Sergeant's on 1 wound. Snake Eyes, you kill the squad with Tactical Marines. You kill the squad and he still had a sergeant with a power fist that could have fought. So finally, the Sons of Horus break through and hold down this objective as we go on to Raven Guard turn 6. In turn 6, we switch sides. The Raven Guard have their primary objective and the Sons of Horus have their primary objective. So this game is going to come down to secondaries. Who's killed more and don't lose your Primarch. So we haven't lost a Primarch and both of us can't bear to count up how many units.
We could call this already, but I just don't want to until we've done the final dice roll and then we count up.
Yeah, who kills more gets an extra point. I don't know, I had more units than you, but I've killed more than you. Yeah. I don't know. I've got 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4 down here, including the Hero Sergeant on the bike, and a unit of snipers up here. That's it. And I can't get enough firepower in to break both of the squads. Mm-hmm. What I can do is fire some sniper weaponry in and cause some pinning and some leadership tests, but currently you're going to be leadership 11 with the banner anyway. So I can't make them break, but let's shoot into them anyway. Shots ring out, then the Raven Guard pause to reload. No further casualties taken out amongst the traitor lines. As we go into Horus's final turn, turn 6. It's all about the secondaries. Kill as much as possible. So this Tactical Marine are standing still. With Fury of the Legion, they'll get double shots up at my sniper team and maybe get rid of them.
Hopefully.
And then Horus can either fire back over his shoulder up here or try and kill one of the units down there.
Yep.
Trying this killing the last. Imagine if there's 1 point in it for the killing stuff.
Yeah. This
could be game breaking. So let's fire everything up at the recon squad. 3s to hit with the bolters. Daka daka daka. Say the orcs. And 4s to wound. 10 saves with 3 up. You can't put artificer armor in recon squads, so it's just 3s. This is going to kill the squad unless I make a 6 with my shrouding Raven Guardy. I don't. You wipe out another squad. And then you were just measuring up before the shooting.
Yeah.
Just remembered this immobilized saber.
It's been out of the game for so long, I forgot I had it.
Yeah. And you've got the Volkite on the top.
Yep.
And it's a huge range. And it can go all the way down and hit my hero biker. Don't kill my hero. I'm going to shroud him.
Okay.
He's going to shroud.
If there's a man who needs to be shrouded, it's him.
It's him.
5 shots.
3s to hit. You hit twice.
Apparently I don't want it to happen.
No.
Strength 5.
Strength 6. You're winning on 2s. They both wound. 2 2-up saves. He's got artificer armor. He's alive.
And Horus.
Are you going to shoot Horus at him?
Horus can shoot
Don't
him.
kill him. He'd survived. He'd survived the charge. Okay, all right then. 2s. Twin linkered. He hits 3 times. 3s to wound. He wounds twice. It is AP3 and he has got artificer armor. Mm-hmm. Last dice roll of the game. The biker who came over and won the hit and run and does he
ran away, then bravely turned around again.
He tactically repositioned and does he get to ride off into the sunset with Corax? No, he falls. And interestingly, in the very last turn of the game, you wiped out 2 more units. So at the very I've got
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And you've got 1, 2, 3,
4.
But did I kill more than you? How many units did you bring?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's count it up because right now 5 points, 5 points, no points for Slay the Warlord. It's just going to get an extra point for killing more. I love this about Heresy because what it's saying is no one won the battle here.
Yeah.
But who won the
war of attrition.
Yeah. we didn't manage to get our prize. We managed to get our prize. You managed to get our prize, but who bled more? We counted everything up.
Yep.
You killed 9 things.
Yeah, you killed 14 or 15.
14 or 15. I killed more. So it's a victory for the Raven Guard by 1 point, with Horus charging down towards Corax and the remaining Raven Guard over here screaming, "Brother, come back!" Raven Guard are going to do what Raven Guard do. They're going to blur back into the distance.
Horus has seen him flicker in throughout the entire match.
Yeah.
He sees him one last time as a shot the sergeant of a bike unit next to him.
Yeah.
And then drifts off.
Yeah. Kills the hero guy. Yeah. In the end, we made them bleed a little bit more than they made us bleed. So 1-0 for the Raven Guard. Our 2 Primarchs did not clash.
They did not.
And I'm happy with that.
It wouldn't gone well, having seen what some non-named characters can do against him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Horus would have made him mush.
Horus would have just Horus absolutely decimated. What he did to the Javelin squad there, Brutal 2 mace. Brutal 2 on Corax.
Yeah.
So for every wound he lands, he does 2 wounds. If he lands 2 wounds, he does 4 wounds. He would have killed Corax. Yeah. And it's mastercrafted, and it's strength 10, and he hits on 3s, wounding on 2. I can't take that kind of fury. What I can do with Raven Guard is be a little bit tricky and jump around the edges and try and out-deploy and out-maneuver, which is what I did this game.
Yep.
In the end, however, the Sons of Horus did manage to push on through and take the objective that they wanted to. Mm-hmm. But just paid the price. A bit too much blood paid.
Yep.
For that push. That was a glorious game, though.
It was really fun. Those last 3 battle rounds were phenomenal. It was tense, and
yeah. Man of the match for you?
I think it's got to be your bike. Like the amount he did flitting around and so on. Yeah.
Okay, that's man of the match for me. We both agree. He's the man of the match.
He is the man of the match. Yeah.
I think Horus. He was a bit out-deployed over here.
Yeah, we did discuss if I'd put him in the middle, he might have been more involved, pushed a threat, you might have changed where the objective went, or deep strike, but there's just so much volatility when he comes in if he deep strikes.
Yeah, and he's a lot of points as well.
Yeah, 600 points sitting off a table is not getting any money's worth, but Null's running across the table, it turns out.
No, and Corax is 440, I think, so he is the most expensive Primarch. He is a big chunk of your army when you bring him along.
Yeah.
We were also discussing off camera, you've got Loken.
I do have Loken.
So you could do Loyalist,
yes.
Sons of Horus.
They will be sea green Sons of Horus, not the white, because I don't hate myself, but yes, we can do Loyalist.
Well, by the time they were on Istvan 3, where Loken was, they were sea green. Loken was sea green, so I think we need to run out some Loyalist Sons of Horus at some points, probably put against my Mechanicum or against my Emperor's Children or something. And what was it like going up against Raven Guard? Do you want to face them again? Give them another go?
I'd love to face them again. They were very tricksy. It'd be interesting, as you said off camera, no Primarch, and just see, remove some of the tricksiness and get 600 points of additional models on my part.
So those are 2 games you're committing to?
Yeah, 2 games plus the other armies that are on the go, plus your other armies, and yeah, we've got a bit of variation.
It's growing. Are you in the Discord? Or are you in the comment section? Are you growing a Horus Heresy army? Are you building up your legions bit by bit by bit? I feel like this game is growing. I feel like there's quite a few projects out there which are slowly coming to fruition now. I hear more noises from the community that Horus Heresy is a lot of fun and people are beginning to get their armies on the table. So comment below, let us know your stories and things. Love to hear from you guys, and we do hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.